Hi everybody, this is Caroline Sotheby and welcome to Up, Down, and Around Town. And boy, was this town busy last weekend. So before I go to the guest, let's go and find out at the Y High who won and what took place. Boy, that's a long one. And that guy over there, he had a Mount Carmel crew jacket on, so you can tell many years ago he was down there.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. They don't have Mount Carmel in school anymore.
So have they cut the mics, or are they listening to our banter at this moment? Kind of.
Okay. We're going to have to listen to this.
In sixth place with 13 points, St. Francis. In fifth place with 30 points, Grosseto. In fourth place with 42 points, Trenton. In third place with 55 points, Roosevelt. In second place with 60 points, Riverview.
They did.
Go
get your trophy.
Probably see them set up in the weight room right now. If you run an individual race, in sixth place with 13 points, St. Francis. In fifth place with 68 points, Roselle. In fourth place with 98 points, Riverview. In third place with 140 points, Trenton. In second place with 144 points, Carlson. 162 points. Now collect the big trophy here, this one's heavy. Don't break the Eagles, we just got it fixed. Just a final reminder, please make sure that all the trash in the golf course parking lot is in the golf course parking lot. Thank you. And for the individual points, individual companies, I might not take out for the thank you for all of our volunteers, for support here today.
And that was on the weekend. And I took another tour to the DCA building on Sunday, even though they had the weekend, and we'll find out more about it. But give you an idea what happened there.
Again, one more time for Alex. First place, nominee amateur division 2025. He's got the Eagle prize bag. He's got the Jimmy hat also. I'm a fan of the snapback.
Those guys are from a company called Kendama USA.
Are they? Yeah.
Yeah. So they're out of Atlanta, Georgia. That's a company called Sundune. They're from Grand Rapids, Michigan. I have an example of their kendama right here on the table. One of the guys on stage is Dan Guzman. He's a friend of mine. He works with Sundune as the marketing person.
Yeah.
He came in second for Amateur Open.
At least at the beginning of the contest.
Can I get there?
It's 219.
Wait, that's me. And I did a trick.
Yeah. How about
Oh,
that?
I missed that one.
Twice.
The Pro Open bracket. We had a slight mishap earlier with it, and that's mostly taken care of. I think we might need to do one more minor adjustment, but it's everybody.
Oh, I'm back again. Let's see if I get it this time. Here we go. Got that. Oh, whoa, 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 oh, and it fell off.
Well, you don't practice all the time, right?
I don't. I've been practicing at school during passing time now, so I've gotten better this year, much better than I ever have been before. This is a company called Kendama Depot, and they get kendama from all over the world and assemble them for you.
Really?
The two pieces, the ball and the stick with the cups.
So what do people usually consider, the color or something? Or
Well, there's shape and there's types of different paint that are used. Like this one, this is the company from Grand Rapids. This is Sundune. So they've changed the shape of the cups a little bit. So this is a little bit bigger, and then they innovated with a plastic ball, a plastic tama, instead of a wooden tama. So it plays quite a bit differently. It'll never wear out.
oh,
So I bought this. And this is their logo. And they're
okay.
from Grand Rapids. And then I have, this is from a company in Kentucky. You can see this hasn't been strung yet, but it's designed to reflect hieroglyphics and Egyptian mythology.
Okay.
It's really pretty. And this is from the same company. So these were all, they had tables at the event, so I bought these there. And this has Greek mythology on it. I don't know if you can see, but Greek symbols and Greek mythology, as well as their logo.
Do you know what they mean?
So this is a traditional Greek design.
Uh-huh.
And I had to buy it because I used to live in Greece. I was a teacher there for a year.
Oh,
And then
really?
before that, I was living there for a summer, working at a restaurant. So I saw that this had Greek mythology on it. I said, I got to have this one and this one.
Okay.
And then we have, this is another company. So these companies come from all over the United States, but they might have products from all over the world. Like this is from a company called Kendama Depot, but this was actually made in Israel.
Wow.
So it's laser etched with these cute little faces.
Okay, I think we should let everybody know who you are
Oh yeah.
because we got right into it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You're Bruce Morse.
Yes.
And does your wife just own the Glowfish, or are you both?
Well, I'm the maintenance man there, so she's
Well, you're still there.
yeah, she's in charge. I think on the documents it says that I'm the secretary, but I don't do very much secretarial work. I fix toilets and change light bulbs and take out the garbage.
The necessary things.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. For some people that are just coming in and saying, what is the name of this and how did you get involved?
This is kendama, and it's an over 100-year-old Japanese skill toy from Hiroshima, Japan, a small town in Hiroshima. And before we opened at Glowfish, Vanessa said, we had some students that were playing these at school in Melvindale. She was a teacher also.
yeah.
I'm still a teacher. And one of our students said, you should get these and sell them in your art gallery. And I said, why would we sell these toys in an art gallery? That doesn't make any sense. And she said, I'm going to buy them anyway. And she did, and they took off like wildfire. So there was this huge kendama craze in Wyandotte and downriver, and the only place to get them was Glowfish for a long period of time. So I had literally thousands of kendama on my hands.
So you had to do something.
Yes. So then we started having kendama night because all the kids wanted to come play. So we did that in the gallery, like in the back of our store. We had the first competition that year, which was in the gallery. You've been to our store. There's no room
Yeah,
left. But
I know.
back in those days, there was a little bit of room, and we played. We had our first kendama tournament, and I think that was 2013. Yeah, 2013. It's been 11 years. So we have one of the longest running competitions in the country, second longest.
Second longest. Okay. Well, one thing too, you mentioned Glowfish. That I often said, if you're out looking for a special gift for somebody and you have no idea what you want, come there, because you have umpteen things that they can choose from.
We have something for all ages. Kids can come in with $1 and buy candy or a small toy. And then if you have more expensive tastes and you're older, we have those things too. So when people ask me, what do you carry in your store? I said, well, we have Japanese skill toys, we have candy, we have jewelry, we have crystals, we have machetes, we have knives, we have camping gear, we have socks, we have gag gifts, we have incense. There's a whole list of things.
See? How about
And
that?
lots of books. Lots of books. So books are hard to find now. There's not many bookstores open, so we carry a lot of books.
Well, good for you. There is one bookstore that opened up recently. It's Brooks Books or something. I think it's on Oak Street.
It's on North Line.
North Line?
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't had a chance to go see it.
She
but-
had a big event with food trucks just, I think, this past weekend also.
Really?
Or maybe it was the weekend before, but I heard rave reviews.
Oh, that's good, because you have to get a little bit of this and that. So, but your books are what? Are they different kind or variety, or are you centered in a certain?
No, it's a huge variety.
It is
So
a-
there could be spiritual books, camping books, mushroom guides, spiritual, like awakening books, crystal books. There's
Okay.
a wide variety. Self-help, gag books.
Okay. So we mentioned everything about Glowfish, but we're not saying exactly where it is located, and it's on Biddle Avenue.
Just north of Oak Street. between the church and the 7-Eleven. Right in the middle of the block.
Right there. Right. Okay. All right. For some people that trying to figure out how this actually works, you gave us somewhat of a demonstration, but
All right. Do I have to perform? Well, let's see.
oh, why not?
Okay. So
We saw you on the.
this is
yeah.
our T-shirt for this year. It was done by a guy in Ohio named Luke Funk on a woodcut. But so we have. Let's see. We have the big cup, the small cup, the base cup, and the spike. So the first thing someone might learn is how to do the big cup. And then you might learn to go back and forth between the cups. And this is called moshikami in Japan.
Okay.
And you might do that and that. And then there's the base cup. And then the spike. Now this took me a long time to figure out. And then you might go back and forth between the cups and the spike and invert it and go around. And you don't actually have to hold the stick. You can hold the ball
Oh, really?
and do balancing tricks. And there's juggling tricks where it leaves your hand completely.
Wow. Okay.
And
I
the
mean,
tricks
how do you
get more-
determine if somebody's comes down to the weekend?
Mm-hmm.
How do you govern them? There's certain points for each.
So there's
thing?
more than one style of play. There's a game called Ken where I do a trick. It's just like a game of horse and basketball. I do a trick, you have to match it. If you miss, you get a letter K.
Oh.
And then I do another trick and you miss it again, now you got KE. And then I do another trick and you miss it, now you got KEN, you're out.
And you're out.
3 strikes, you're out. But there's also, I competed in intermediate this year for the first time because I was able to actually walk away from a lot of my duties because some of the other guys, our Downriver Kendama team, took over a lot of the duties I had in the past. So I competed in intermediate, and it's what's called a speed ladder. So there's a series of X number of tricks. In this case, it was 7 fairly complicated tricks. And it's the first person to complete all the tricks in a row wins. So I got down to my final trick, which was, what was that trick? It was difficult. This is called
really?
lighthouse. It's called lighthouse flip to here. And then you throw the whole thing up like this, throw it all up in the air and grab, you're holding actually this part, you throw it up in the air, grab this part and spike it.
I
And
probably
that's where I
wouldn't
got-
start with the first one.
That's where I got beaten. I only got one chance to do it, and I missed it the first time on the spike, and the guy next to me got it.
Really?
So he advanced. But one of my students from Melvindale came in 3rd place.
Okay.
So we were practicing at school right before the
Well,
competition.
you had the winners of this past weekend, though.
Yeah,
right?
so the big star this year was this Colton Bigham. He came with his family all the way from Minnesota. He couldn't come on his own because he's only 13 years old. So his family got in their travel trailer and drove, halfway across the country. Well, I guess maybe a third of the way across the country.
Yeah.
And he competed and he won 3rd place in freestyle. This is a 13-year-old kid playing against adults who are
Yeah.
professionals that are sponsored by these teams. He took 3rd place in freestyle and he took 1st place overall, the whole competition. It's phenomenal.
And if he comes back next year, we're going to have to interview him.
That
Or
would
the
be great. I'm
family.
sure he would love it.
Or the family, you
Yeah.
know, because if they're with him, they're backing him up, encouraging him, and
Mm-hmm.
feeling proud that he's doing this.
Yeah, I talked to his parents he came last year, and he'd really gotten into it, and his parents were looking for a competition to take him to because he hadn't competed yet.
Oh, really?
So he came to Dom in the D, and I think that was his first competition last year.
Wow.
He came back this year and swept it.
So what's he going to do for a repeat?
Well, my guess is one of these companies will pick him up as a professional player.
Really?
Very soon.
Even at that age?
Yeah,
No kidding.
yeah.
Wow. Do they get paid for this?
So usually how it works out is that they get paid to show up at events, or they get what's called a pro model, and they get a cut of every sale,
Oh,
a
really?
certain percentage.
Okay.
So each of their model that sells, they get a small percentage of.
Okay. So you've been doing that for 11 plus years. Is it always at the DCA?
Well, it started at Glowfish, that was our first, but we moved it to the DCA because it's so convenient for us,
Yeah.
and that's where it's been ever since.
Because I know I wouldn't have known that this past week was the week. But we went to Nana's to have something to eat, and all of a sudden there were 2 guys that were leaving, and they're doing this as they're walking out. We said, "Is that this weekend?" Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see the Kendama walking around the streets of Wyandotte. I even had a kid at school who was working in Dearborn, and this was on Thursday night of last week, and he came back to school with a video. He said, "Look at these guys; they're really good." He said they're from out of town. They're here to compete.
So you get them from all over then. You said
Oh yeah,
South Carolina. And
yeah,
Beautiful.
New Jersey.
So when do you start handing out the information? Like we're going to have it this weekend, and
So we always have it the first weekend of May,
Okay.
because there's other competitions around the country, and so we try not to step on their toes, and they
Right.
try not to step on ours. So this is our weekend. Everyone in the Kendama community knows, don't schedule for this weekend.
So where do they stay for the weekend?
So a lot of them got VRBOs. The Kendama Depot guys were down by Eastern Market.
Uh-huh.
So on Friday night, it's a whole weekend of events.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Friday night, we all met at Eastern Market and played.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Eastern Market. And a lot of them do filming, and they film their tricks and post them online. And then Saturday we had the competition, and Saturday night, I'm not sure. I think they went back to the Eastern Market area. And then Sunday, we had the competition all day, and then we went to one of the Kendama teams, Downriver Kendama team's members' homes, and played there until fairly late.
Don't you get tired?
Yeah,
You
really,
just-
and your legs.
Legs?
Your
Oh,
legs,
yeah, because you're constantly
going up
get up.
and down, up and
Yeah.
down. So some of these tricks require you to. There's a book called Knees on how to play kendama, and knees are the key. You gotta go up and down, up and down.
Do you
So
have that book in your store?
I used to. We don't have it right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. For somebody, though, say they're just seeing this and say, hey, I'd like to try it. What's the best way and a place to get started?
Well, if you were to come into Glowfish and buy one of the beginner models from, say, we have a lot of beginner models from Crom right now, but we still have some from Sweets. They actually have a QR code on the side of them, and you hit the QR code and it takes you to a video tutorial and tells you how to
Really?
play. And they also come with an instruction booklet of basic tricks.
Yeah, but the idea of starting and really trying it, because there's always a trick behind the trick, right?
There is. So when I first started learning, I was on my own and I didn't know all these tricks, and these guys on the Downriver Kendama team would teach me just the little things. Like if you want to spike it, I was just
Yeah.
looking at the whole, what's called tama, the whole ball. But they said focus on this right there where the string goes in. Focus on that, because then you know it's right there.
Uh-huh.
And there's all kinds of other little tricks that you can learn. So one of my student that won at the competition, he was stuck on this trick at the very end, the one I missed, where you throw this up, the whole thing up in the air, and then you come up and spike it. It's called a trade spike. So you throw this up in the air, grab this, and this ball has to rotate just enough so it comes on.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get that. So I told him, what you need to do is your third finger here. You let go of everything and you just hold it with your third finger. It'll rotate perfectly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean, because,
Yeah.
I mean, you can try to throw it up, but if it doesn't make the curve,
No, it's
You don't-
it's
you
a
don't have
difficult
it.
trick. It's in the air and you're just snatching it out of the air at that point, trying to get the two to align.
well, like, I think, well, when did I first meet you on the show? You and Vanessa about 4 or 5 years ago, right?
Has it been that long?
I think so. I said, I didn't know there was such a thing until I was on Van Alstyne near the parking lot, and I'm seeing these kids walking and doing that. I said, what the heck is that? You know? And that's how I found out, then, yeah, you have it over there. And I said, you know, you lose something new every time.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you do now that this weekend is over and get ready?
Wrapping up the school year, and Vanessa's going to Scotland this week on Friday. She's turning 50, so she decided to go to Scotland
Oh, really?
without me. She said, "You don't like to shop, so you're not coming."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, you're
But-
going to have to be here to do all the.
Yeah, I got to take care of my son Finn. So Vanessa's going to go. She's got a friend going with her. They're going to fly into London, and then they're going to go up on a train to Scotland, and then they're going to rent a car and drive around Scotland, and then come back
Really?
and go back to London.
Has she ever been there before?
She has not.
Oh, well, that'd be interesting.
Yeah. So I used to live in London. Was a bartender on the River Thames on a boat, right next to London Bridge.
How about that?
Yeah.
Where else have you been? I mean,
Been a lot of places. I was a vagabond when I was younger.
oh, really?
Yeah, backpacker, and I mean, You can call it backpacking or you can call it homeless, you know.
Well, there was something on Facebook the other day, the difference between a hobo and three different things. And I read that and I thought, you know, it could be one and the same person, but there are different meanings for each one of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
One wants to work, one works but doesn't have accommodations to, you know, sleep in. And we have that in this area too, though. People are in need of food, and, you know, you just think, oh, well, no. Yeah.
Yeah, having a home and a bunch of and car and like getting to and from work. I mean, that's a lot of responsibility. And
Yeah.
some people it's difficult for, and some people don't want it.
Yeah.
At one point in my life, I just wanted to be a little footloose.
Then all of a sudden, how did you meet her anyway?
At a party on an island. Well, I met her at a wedding first.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
At, her ex-boyfriend's brother was getting married in my parents' backyard, and she was at the wedding.
Okay. So you mended your ways, and look what you've done since then, right?
Yes.
Right. Hey, I think it's almost time for us to leave. I'm glad you came on, filled us in on some information, and you guys take care.
All right. Thank you very much for having me again.
Again,
I really appreciate it.
yeah, well, we're actually a day change because tomorrow's election thing, and we're closed here, and I realized that. So that's the reason I said, okay. I called, can he make it today? She said, yeah, I can. So thank you. 2 hours notice. Okay. Hey, take care. Meanwhile, we'll see you around town, okay? Take care.